Today, this committee convenes for a hearing on addressing the infrastructure needs of America's housing stock. Congress must recognize that our nation's infrastructure extends beyond making investments in our roads, bridges, ports, and airports. It also includes our nation's affordable housing. We're in the midst of a housing affordability crisis. According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, there's a shortage of more than 7.2 million rental housing units that are affordable and available to the lowest income families. In fact, no state in America has an adequate supply of affordable housing for the lowest income renters. For example, California has a deficit of over 1 million affordable and available units. Wisconsin has a deficit of nearly 140,000 units. Mississippi has a deficit of nearly 50,000 units. New York has a deficit of over 600,000 units. Rising rents and gentrification are part of this problem. For example, in my district, the city of Englewood is experiencing economic development which, while it offers many benefits for the community, has also resulted in higher rents and led to displacement of residents. Affordable housing must be a part of any solution, or long-time and often lower-income residents will lose their homes. Our public housing system, which houses 2.6 million Americans, is also in dire need of investment to repair kitchens, elevators, baths, doors, windows, and roofs. There's a public housing capital need backlog of $70 billion, and around 10,000 units are lost each year as a result of disinvestment. Neglecting our housing infrastructure hurts our economy. Studies have found that the lack of affordable housing hurts economic productivity and wages. For all of these reasons, I've put forth a discussion draft that would make the investments we need in our housing infrastructure and critical jobs across the country. The bill contains $1 billion to fully fund the backlog of capital needs for the sections 515 and 514, that is rural housing stock. $5 billion to support mitigation efforts that can protect communities from future disasters and reduce post-disaster federal spending. $5 billion for the Housing Trust Fund to support the creation of hundreds of thousands of new units of housing that would be affordable to the lowest income households. $100 million to help low-income elderly households in rural areas age in place, and $1 billion for the Native American Housing Block Grant Program to address substandard housing conditions on tribal lands. $10 billion for CDBGs set aside to incentivize states and cities to eliminate impact fees and responsibly streamline the process for development of affordable housing. $70 billion to fully address the public housing capital backlog. We also need to consider ways to incentivize developers to reduce the energy cost of affordable housing and to create housing that accommodates generations of families living under one roof. And so this committee has already passed the Ending Homelessness Act to house the more than 500,000 persons experiencing homelessness, and is now turning its attention to addressing another aspect of the affordable housing crisis, the lack of housing infrastructure.